What is up, you guys? It is your boy HamzaConnection coming at you live. Welcome to the Journey Podcast. Today, I almost didn't feel like making this one because it's been a long, productive day, and I was like, I just want to chill, but I thought I might record it and then like make the photo and stuff like that afterwards. But the most important thing is I can record it now because I'm at home because I haven't been at home lately. So it's been like I would have to do the podcast episode outside or at some quiet place, but now I'm at home, so it's a lot easier to make the podcast episode. So I have some things to share. Well, a couple of days ago, I was attending an RSD free tour seminar, and it was actually quite good. It's actually quite good. I won't go into depth what they taught me there. Basically, it's a company called Real Social Dynamic, and they teach you pickup and self improvement stuff. And this guy that was holding the seminar was called Jeffy actually, and this guy was really funny. Was really funny. Like I really enjoyed the seminar. I actually also made an Instagram post about it. Took a picture with Jeff. It was super cool. It was super fun. Even like my mentor, he asked me like, "Hey, could you share some of the points?" I haven't had the time, so I couldn't. I haven't jumped on a call with him to share some of the points that he made. He made some pretty good points. I might make some podcast episode about what I learned there, but we'll see. We'll see. Basically, this one is going to be about just going to these type of seminars and surrounding yourself with cool ass people. Because this guy, it's crazy. Like for those of you who doesn't know who Jeff from RC Jeffy RC Jeff is, basically this guy is really good at pickup and stuff like that, and he's gotten I don't know how many women, but it's crazy. He has gotten a lot of ladies and been with a lot of women and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy in terms of that, and that's what he specializes in pickup and in self improvement. In his background story, I'm not gonna go in depth with that, but it's a pretty crazy, not the typical story, and he's very humorous stuff like that. So it's kind of funny. But basically, when I was at that event, I am a bit of a weird person. Like I do like self improvement stuff. I do like and now I've sort of gotten into more like spirituality and stuff like that. So I'm like you could say I'm all over the place. I also like health and fitness and stuff like that. And combining these things, and I use my spare time sometimes on reading books and stuff like that. So already right there, it's like it's quite atypical. So I would just like so it's hard to meet similar minded people because like I want to start a business, I want to do this, I want to do that, and most of the people that I talk to doesn't have those kind of aspirations. That doesn't mean that they don't have aspirations at all. That mean they have aspirations, but in other areas. Like and it's sort of harder to resonate with those people. Not that I'm saying like that, like I'm good and they're bad. Like we're all different, so everybody has their own aspiration. Like some want to make a lot of money, and some doesn't. Some like quite frankly don't care about that much about the money. They focus more on making an impact and stuff like that. Some want to do both. Some want to be a brand. Some want to focus on the life job. Some doesn't want to focus like life job. I mean a job that they really like, and some don't really care as long as it pays good, and then they will have fun in their spare time and stuff like that. And yeah, so we are all basically different. And I feel like with this, when I go to like seminars like that, I do meet people that like I sort of mentioned some authors and stuff like that, and some of the things that I'm interested in and studying at the moment and stuff like that. And these people like at that seminar, they would jump right at it. They would be like, "Oh yeah, but do you know this guy?" And I would be like, "Oh yeah, this guy is similar." And usually, like when I talk to my friends about these things, it's very very few of them that knows what the fuck I'm talking about because they don't know like the authors of self improvement and all the stuff that I do read and I like and all of that stuff. And so it's kind of hard to talk into that spectrum. Also, like with spirituality, also with the business and stuff like that. It's just they're simply not interested, and that's fair enough. Like it's just like I'm not interested in a bunch of other stuff. So if you talk to me like that, I'll probably be open minded. I'll probably like to get to know someone out, especially if you know a lot about it. But I will not be able to contribute to the conversation. And when you connect with people in these seminars that are more like-minded than you find resources and you can sort of talk about your journey, and they can relate. They can relate. Like I saw like this guy. We talked about some energy work and stuff like that, and I have no clue about like energy work. Like I have no clue on how to do like energy work. But basically, I've done like a death meditation. I attended one of RSD Julian Blanc seminar. It's called Transformational Mastery, and we did like a death meditation and stuff like that. And it made me realize some crazy fucking ass shit. I was like, it's crazy. Like that was like whoa, that was some crazy shit right there. Let me just say that it is really, I can see like from what I gained from that seminar, it has really released some of the deepest fears in me and it like exposed me to them and some of the deepest traumas that I had like deep down inside in my subconscious mind. I just let out and now it's like, whew, it's out, it's gone. And like obviously I'm not perfect, that's not what I'm saying, but like it helped a lot. And basically, the breathing pattern that you do for this death meditation kind of thing, I thought he invented it. So I talked to this guy and he was like, no, it was actually this guy called Glenn something that invented it. And he started talking about energy work. And it was so interesting. I was like, shit, man. Because I'd done something similar, like with Julian Transformational Mastery. And this guy, he's talking about energy work. And I realized, okay, Julian actually learned this from him. And he was actually Julian's coach that taught him that. And then Julian picked some of the stuff that he was taught by this master. And then he showed it and made it a program and stuff like that. And I was like, whoa, shit, man, that's super interesting. And that was right up in my alley. Like basically we're talking about same interests, same topics and stuff like that. And this is the benefits that you get from connecting with people that are similarly or like-minded. Like if you want to be good, for instance, at pickup, then go to these like seminars and stuff. Like there are a lot of guys that goes out and goes to the city and pick up and stuff like that and pick up girls and goes out and train their skills and stuff like that. And if you find some really serious one, you can make like a WhatsApp group and then go out, hit the city and all of that stuff. And then, yeah. And then actually like writing field reports and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like there's a whole community about it. And I'm like, and I'm thinking like, if you have somebody, an accountability partner and stuff like that, you will basically enhance your skill way faster and stuff like that. And this is not specific to like pickup. There's a lot of other communities that I have no idea exist that are out there that you can join and you can talk to like-minded people and expand your horizon. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much, like you get so much benefits from it. And I'm not saying like be wary. Don't spend time just talking with people, but connecting with people and talking with people and actually implementing some of the things that they do and that they tell you. Like for instance, yeah, research that Glenn guy and stuff like that. And if you learn something valuable, then like try and research up more on it and do the action and stuff like that. And that's super interesting. So I can imagine the same thing applies like with fitness. Like you befriend, you go to the gym and all of that stuff. You befriend some kind of people that like, hey, they train a lot and they look good and all that stuff, and they're really into dieting and stuff like that. And I'm betting, like, if you befriend them and you talk to them and you're cool and you have the same interests, you're gonna be friends with them, and then you can talk sort of the same, like, if you know what I mean, like language, like you talk in terms of the same interest, and then basically you can, for instance, like value exchange, for instance, like, oh, so what sort of recipe do you use when you're cutting and stuff like that? So, well, because you look so lean, and then you could probably learn a shit ton of from that guy. And he could tell you, oh, I do this, 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 and this. And then you can take what he does because he's way ahead of you when it comes to lean mass. And then you can try and apply that for yourself and then grow. And possibly you have something to offer him as well. Like, you know, way a lot more in endurance exercise. So you could sort of help the guy out with endurance if he's interested in that. You could talk about these stuff and all of that stuff. But just make sure to verify as well, because there's a lot of people that don't really know what they're talking about, and they're just talking because it's cool to have an opinion. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect as well. Again, I have a tendency to, like, hey, I want an opinion on something that I have no clue of knowing, and then it's just like, I don't know, I think it's a human bias. I have no idea. But basically, it tends to be like that way, based on my experience, based on me observing other people and me actually trying to observe myself. I noticed that. So, unfortunately, you like, not unfortunately, actually, because it's actually a good thing. You actually have to verify what they say. You actually have to verify what they say, and then just don't believe everything. So verifying the information. But most of the times, like, it depends on, like, what seminar you go to. Like, this one was a free tour, so everybody can access. So basically, it's everybody. But let's say you put a price tag, so you say a seminar of $1,000. Then basically, it sort of removes the people that are not really into it. Because somebody that's like, oh, I'm interested in this, but I'm not really pursuing it, would not pay 1K to go to a seminar. Like, most likely they won't. So this sort of filters out all the non-serious guys. And this is the thing. Like, imagine like this, a 4K seminar, for instance. That sort of also filters out a lot of the not so serious guys. So it depends on where you go to, because it reflects the people. Like, sometimes, like, the price does reflect the people that come there, and also because I remember it myself. Like, I went with a boot camp with Sarah from RSD and stuff like that, and I can't remember how much it was actually. I think it was like I can't remember. I think it was like $500, or was it 1K? I can't even remember. I think it was $500 or something. We got it for super cheap. So $500, and it was like a 2 or like, no, I actually ended up spending 3 days with her. But it was like a 2-day boot camp, and it was so fucking awesome. Like, I learned so much about myself. It was fucking crazy. Like, so much that she helped me so much in my development and pushed me so much further. Like, it's crazy. I probably have to make a video about that as well, like, in another topic. But just by paying that amount, the people that were there was also a reflection of how serious they were. Like, those people, like, seriously, we had this guy. He came all the way from fucking Sweden to attend this shit. All the way from fucking Sweden to Denmark. Like, I know it's not crazy far, but still, man, he got all the way from Sweden, and he was like, and he slept like I can't remember. I think he was like, he had to go to work or something the next day or something like that. But he stayed out in the city with us, and it was getting quite late. And then he had to go back home, sleep, and then go to work afterwards and stuff like that. And it's like, it's just serious people. I remember, like, for my work, we had like this project thing, and I was like, I gotta leave. I talked to my boss, and I was like, this is super important, all that stuff. Could you please let me leave? I don't want to take this meeting. And I was with I can't remember. It was with somebody, like, I think it was he wants to shoot for an econ. I was like, no, I don't really want to take a meeting. Can you take a meeting? Give me the notes, and then I'll be like that gone. And then I promise you, I'll work overtime next day. And she was like, oh, cool, fine. You don't have to come to the meeting. And I went straight to the boot camp thing, so I could reach it out. So I could get there ahead of time and stuff like that, and so I didn't waste like an hour or so because I paid some money on it. And it was super fun. It was super fun. And these people that you meet, again, this is the main point of the podcast. Like these people that you meet, they are very serious. So it reflects like, yeah, if you're just starting out and stuff like that, go to like usually on seminars, their purpose is also like to teach you something and also to sell you something. But basically, go to a seminar. Go to like a free seminar or something like that and talk, network with the people. See if you find somebody interesting and stuff like that and network with the people because you might network with somebody that's pretty damn awesome, that's pretty damn cool and all of that stuff. I know at least for myself that, hey man, I've met some pretty cool people and stuff like that. And a lot of the YouTube videos that I used to watch, man, I chilled with the fucking camera guy. I chilled with the fucking camera guy, and he had some funny stories and stuff like that. And I was like, I got the feel of how those YouTubers that I'm watching, how they are actually behind the scenes and stuff like that. How Owen is behind the scenes and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, cool. Like these sort of stories, like you don't get those out on YouTube. So it's kind of cool, man. And also to hang around with somebody like that travels the world and tours the world and it's like has done it for like so many months. Like I think Jeff has been touring for like I don't know. I can't remember, but it was like years. Like he's just been touring, visiting like a new country or something like that. I think it was every week or 2 weeks or stuff like that. It's crazy to meet somebody like that. It's just they're super interesting. They've seen a lot of the world and all that stuff. And I bet you could probably learn a crazy time. I know I have. Just from that boot camp I did with Sarah, I've learned a lot. Crazy time. Amazing value, an amazing investment in myself at least. And don't just don't just listen to me and be like, oh, he developed himself and he was like, oh, let me just also invest in Sean's bootcamp. No, that's not how it works. Because it was the right investment for me. But you got to figure out where you are and tailor it so you go to somebody else or actually to her. It depends on what your goals are and all that stuff. So you have to also be evaluating. So it's not like I'm here like promoting her bootcamp and telling you to go to like an RC free tour and all that stuff. Because it all depends on your goal as well. It all depends on your goals. Because if you want to do business and stuff like that, then you could probably go to a more effective seminar at somebody else, at someone else or something like that. But if you want to learn how to pick up and stuff like that, then it's probably a really good seminar to go to. And it also depends on your level. It also depends on your level and stuff like that. Like about gaming and all that stuff. It depends. And like, oh, are you into self-improvement? Are you not into self-improvement? So it depends. And you have to also be very open-minded because they're going to point out some stuff and all that stuff that you didn't know about yourself. And then you realize that and it's like, whoa, shit, man. But basically, these seminars, you meet a lot of interesting people, and I loved it. I loved it. And I highly recommend for you guys going to something similar. Like, if you're a programmer, go to programming seminars, meet like-minded people. And if you're into sports, like, go to, like, sports seminars, or even, like, for instance, yoga. Like, go to yoga teacher, learn. Go to free yoga events and talk to the people there, and then you'll be able to do yoga with them and all of that stuff. Like I know for my gym at least, I'm very much like focused on my workout. But when you go to the gym and you go there for a couple of times and stuff like that, you automatically get to know people. Like for instance, there's a lot of girls that goes to yoga as well, and now. Like I'm seeing them and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, oh, that's her. Hey, and all that stuff. You get to know people. You get to know people with similar-minded interests. So if I ever wanted to like talk to somebody about yoga, I would probably talk to any of those yoga girls that also go to the same classes that I do. It's like if I, it's like the same. There's this old guy. He's been boxing for a long time. If I ever wanted to learn how to box better or how to learn how to box, I would probably go to that guy because he goes to those boxing lessons and he's been boxing for a lot of time. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I would ask him and talk about boxing. He could probably tell me a lot about boxing. And this is the thing. It's not only like seminars that you connect with people and network with people. You can also network with people outside of seminars, outside of things, just the gym that you go to. Like, seriously, get to know people all of a sudden. I'm not using it as crazy much as I should, but I know there is a lot of potential in this. A lot of potential in this. Just make sure you screen people because there are some people that go to these events and stuff like that, but they're not that serious. They're just like gathering information, but they're not really applying it, using it. It's like, for instance, in the pickup community, there's a lot of people that goes to these seminars, but that don't go out and actually applies the technique and the pickup and all that stuff, and actually goes and gets the girl. They just read, and all of that stuff. And I'm guilty about that myself. Like, I used to read a shit ton of books. I still do read a lot of books, but I didn't apply it. I didn't apply it. But now I'm more focused on, like, applying it. I'm not perfect either at it, because a lot of times, like, you read a lot, and then it's hard to apply everything. But I'm way more focused now on applying the stuff that I get. So, for instance, with the Jeff seminar, I wrote some notes, and I'm actually thinking like, hey, how can I apply this stuff? How can I apply this stuff? And sometimes the stuff that you learn is just something from mentally that it makes like mental. So basically I use it for making better decisions because he basically showed me a framework, a way of how to think, and I can use that to when I'm in a certain situation to think in that way because I find it beneficial. So I was like, okay, that's a good idea. So it's not everything that it's like tangibly applying. Some of the things just makes you smarter, so you make better decision, which will enhance the actions that you do. Because if you make better decision, you will probably make a better decision to take the right action and stuff like that. So a lot of that stuff. So it also creates awareness. Sometimes it's just awareness about a topic, about some things that will help you out. Well, basically, this has been a super long podcast episode, but it's a super valuable skill, and I hope you enjoyed me sharing my experiences with this seminar. It's not like it's not like I'm a promoter or trying to promote this specific seminar. Like this, I hope you can see on a broader spectrum and not just the specific. Like I went to an RSD seminar. I wanted to share my personal experience, but it was more this is a principle that you can apply generally to seminars and also outside of seminars. So I want you to take the overall principle, but I hope you enjoyed listening to my specific experience. And if you did, hit the like button down below. And if you want to stay tuned for more, hit the subscribe button. And I catch you on the next one. Peace.